Well, you know this phrase and have probably said it thousands of times: one nation under God. Well, this weekend on Sunday, that will be the core theme of a big event in our nation's capital. It is called Rededicate 250. Thousands of Americans and hundreds of faith leaders are expected on the National Mall. John Yap is the CEO and president of Catholics for Catholics, and he joins me now. Jonathan, first tell us about your organization and what you are doing to honor America 250. Something tells me you'll be involved this weekend.
Very much so. We have many of our people and our supporters are going to be there in person. This is an exciting moment. Catholics for Catholics is on the front lines of bringing God back to the nation. We actually have joined President Trump in his America Praise campaign on the White House website. So this is very important for us just to have this moment at this significant anniversary to rededicate it to God. I find more and more, Katrina, that the people of today, the young people, have forgotten just how many miracles have made this nation possible. Going back to the Trenton in 1776, you go to Eisenhower and D-Day, the invasion, how we, were able to just have victory because of the blessings of Almighty God. So this event is important to step back and look at. All of our success ultimately comes from God, specifically Jesus Christ.
And we know thousands, as we said, are expected this weekend to rededicate one nation under God. Why do you think that faith is important for the strength of our country? I know you said a lot of people have fallen off. A lot of people have either lost faith or haven't found it in the first place. Why is it particularly important for the United States?
Founding fathers knew exactly what they were doing. They were specifically, it wasn't just a random God out there. This God had a name. That name was Jesus Christ. I think the telltale signs when you look upon Arlington Cemetery and you see the amount of symbols on it, those are crosses. They understood that the gift, the patrimony of Christendom was able to give birth to the United States of America. And it's very important now in this stage that we're in to return to our roots. People actually don't know this, but the fourth forgotten verse of the Star-Spangled Banner actually says that famous line, "Conquer we must when our cause it is just, and in God we trust." So this is a moment, again, to go back to our roots as we look forward to this new golden age for the country.
Yeah, speaking of a new golden age, I want to get your thoughts on this. Last month, the Washington Post published this piece, the title, "Why Catholicism is Drawing in Gen Z Men." Now, this month, the Wall Street Journal also published a piece titled, "Young New Yorkers Have a New Hotspot, Sunday Mass." We both touched on how maybe faith is waning here in the United States, but then there are also these pockets where it has been growing. To what do you attribute that revival?
When there's been so much shakeup on different cultural points, take for example the whole thing with genders, this whole latest leftist thing that there could be 10 genders. When everything around you seems to be changing, people naturally are going to want to gravitate that which is stationary and which will never change. That is the faith. So you see that specifically with young men. We do a lot of work on university campuses, engaging with the young people and having these conversations. We find specifically that is mostly attended and the most interest is among young men. It's a great sign for the future of America.
John, as we go into the weekend here, and of course the big Rededicate event happening this weekend, what message would you like to share with our viewers?
Get the word out that this God, it's not just some random God out there. This God has a name. That name is Jesus Christ. The founding fathers believed that was him, and that's important because your specific religion or how you view God will influence your politics, the way you view, and everything else around you. So we need to go back to our roots of who this God actually is. And the name is Christ. And I encourage people to watch this event and go through the history again to remember just how much good God has brought this nation.
All right, John, we appreciate it. Have a great weekend. Thank you.
Thank you.